luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Ready? 60 outlaw. Hey, lock it.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Shift.
They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
30 base. Hey, Delta.
Here's Greer now on 2nd down. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Greer. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Ready, set.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, here's Greer. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
Here we go.
Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. And the man to bring him down was Cyrus Jones. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check safety. Check safety. Motion. Mike,
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Here we go. We're going to 54. Quick catch. Go.
A first down carry by Elliott. Shoves him aside. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses. Those exact.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 9, Greer. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 18 big yards on that one. And a Miami first.
Check.
Yep.
On first down, it's Greer. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Started the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he is going to have the first down as he gets this up to his own 11. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Prescott from the gun. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott got his man there complete to Gallup. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 36. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
10th carry now for Allen. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Completes it to Jason Witten. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. From the left hash, this from 46. Maher able to put this one through. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Greer. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Demir Bird, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they... That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. It's caught. Cooper. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Prescott now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Elliott running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 4 down. 4 down.
Switch.
Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Prescott finding Witten, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches.
53 at the mic. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
That's good for a Cowboys. First down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. Second down now. Certainly not what the offense wanted down here, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, but look who got involved. I mean, when you got a strong safety who can drop into the box, never needs an invitation to be one of those guys in run defense, does he? Wakes up every morning.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tavon Austin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, that's caught inside the 20, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Prescott now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Elliott. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year, 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
First down, Greer. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Greer on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Go! Bravo! Ready?
Now Greer. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now it's Greer. And the pressure gets to him again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
We're going to 54. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
They go to Elliott again. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Elliott, and he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They needed a yard. They got it. First down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on first down. Elliott, a short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Watch the whip. Hey, 47. 46.
And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Tighten up. Here we go, 47. 52. Here we go, 46. Rush in. Rush in. 26.
They'll run it with Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Oh, man, that was some call right there. The game in the balance. They run for it on fourth down, and this has been the story all game long. They've been the ones that come up with the big plays when they've needed them. And that last one, that may have won them the football game.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
You go tight.
They'll run with Elliott.